Hello, this is Haunted Box here, and welcome back to The Letter. Last time, we sold the house, the creepy haunted house. Unfortunately, our mysterious ghost girl met up with us again in a reflection. Judging by the description that we got, my guess is that she was murdered, and her lacking of fingernails means she was locked up somewhere trying to get out. Just a guess. But I think this whole curse thing is just her trying to get people to help her. And the fact that nobody's helping her is making her an angry spirit. What I've been neglecting to show you is we have a relationship chart. For all of, I'm guessing these are all the playable characters, because they're all listed on the side over here as well. Which means either we're going to play the same thing over and over again, or we're just going to get different parts as different characters, which I think is kind of cool. But apparently, we are like super awesome friends with Zach. And so far, I have to say, out of all the characters, he's my favorite. I like him. He's the quiet giant. And then Rebecca, I think we just went back up with her. At the night of the movie, I think we went down. Because I think the little lines here are the indication of where we start off at. But anyways, this will be interesting. So let's continue, shall we? I wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. It's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking, with only the occasional drips of water on the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company. The room is devoid of any other light source apart from the one streaming from the hallway and the windows. That's not true, your TV's on. Showing News 8. Dun, dun, dun. Even with the clutter I've accumulated over the years, the room feels a whole lot bigger than it commonly is. I hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside. What, are we on the ground floor? Oh, maybe out in the hallway. Loud. So loud. If only there was a way to tune everything out, to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for enough. That's enough. A shiver passes over me, though it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows I've left wide open. My gaze shifts over the letter, sitting on the coffee table. Its edges flutter innocuously as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary-looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. I wouldn't call it ordinary if it's covered in blood. The impulse to throw it away or rip it into pieces is still there. I think the most curious part of this is the ending that says something's the type 5 people or else. I get it, she wants help, but this seems a little too, I don't know. I don't think a ghost would say that, if that makes any sense. I can easily do it, but after that, what? Will she leave me? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? This uncertainty gnaws at me. Knowing she's real and might also go after the people I care about, I just wish someone would listen. Believe me. The abrupt break in silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Blindly, I fish the gadget out from the mess of cushions and papers beside me, where I've carelessly thrown it earlier before taking a shower. Zach's name flashes brightly on the screen. Is he calling because of this afternoon? Dude, maybe he found a priest. To be frank, it's the last thing I want to discuss, though. I did leave the two of them there without saying anything. Knowing Zach, I bet he's worried.
Hey, Zach.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you're not gonna pick up.
Sorry, it took me a while to find my phone.
No worries. You game tomorrow?
I pause. I don't recall making plans with Zach for the weekend.
Did I forget something?
No, we're gonna go ghost hunting.
Remember that guy I told you about? Back in the movies? The, priest? For the blessing? Does it ring a bell?
Oh, right. I did say that. but I didn't think he'd actually go through the trouble, especially after what happened with this film. Sometimes, I forget how kind Zach can be.
Yeah, I remember. Is he fine with it?
He's a priest, isn't that part of his job description?
My friend doesn't mind. We're lucky he's not busy. So, tomorrow, he'll meet us at the mansion.
If I remember correctly, recently I heard that the Vatican's, 'cause they do exorcisms. Apparently, the number of exorcisms per year they get asked to do is risen this year. So, yeah, I think this priest would be totally chill with this.
Okay. Sorry for the trouble, Zach.
Hey, no problem. I'm the one who suggested it to begin with. And, well, this afternoon you did surprise us. Never seen you scream like that. You scared the hell out of Rebecca.
I guess I owe you a lot for this, huh?
Nah, we're cool. You had us worried. But I know you'll tell us about it eventually. I just want to make sure you're doing well. You left all of a sudden and you're not answering any of our calls.
He's trying to get me to talk. Normally, I'll tell him I'm fine, assurances, empty or otherwise, to put their minds at ease. Now nothing will form. I can't bring myself to say anything. He seems to have sensed my hesitation because he immediately steers the subject to a different direction.
Yeah, anyway, I gotta go. I left something on the stove before making this call. Just soup. But it'd be embarrassing if I burnt soup.
I think the first month I lived in my dorm room, somebody burnt top ramen on the stove, and it set off the smoke detectors, and everyone had to be evacuated because of the fire department. So, I don't think burning soup is the most embarrassing thing you could do.
I doubt it. Ashton, on the other hand...
Oh, remind me to tell you about what he did with the pressure cooker next time. Oh, damn, it overflowed!
You overflowed soup?
Really need to get going. Bye, Bella.
He hangs up before I can thank him. The busy tone, though muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I'm doubtful it will. Dude, you need to watch the anime Ghost Hunt. Father Brown, badass. That's why I chose priest. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. Sleep comes easier tonight. And for the first time in a long time, I dream. Of clear skies, of unrestrained laughter from children playing in the streets, and of small, cramped dwellings. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. Yeah, I don't like suburbia that much, but I do like cramped spaces. However, this, to me, is home. October 23rd, Sunday. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Although the air still feels muggy, and I miss the chilly autumn weather. It's one of those rare weekends when I'm up even before the alarm rings. If it isn't for Zach's call last night, I'd probably sleep in. When 9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already on my way to Ermengrad Mansion. To think I have to go back again, I'll be lying if I say I'm excited at the prospect of entering the place once more. I don't have to anymore. Rose happily gave me paperwork duty when I volunteered. We're on the last phase of the sale, too. Well, almost. Papers to sign, documents to finalize, various other legalities to settle with the current owner, and all that. Still. Never mind that its new owners want everything done within a week, when the process typically takes more than that. They want it done. Well, get it done. I really don't understand rich people. But money can do wonders. I won't be surprised if they'll be able to push the process just a little more, like what they did to secure the house. The point is, I'm under no obligation to return to that house anymore. Yeah, but this might give you peace of mind. Running is an option, of course. I can now move on to another property and forget everything. However, at the end of the day, it's always my conscience that wins. What if something happens to those who have seen the letter? Ash, Zach, Becca, Miss McCullough, the Wrights? Okay, so that's how all the characters are chosen to be player characters. I was wondering why Rose wasn't one. But I guess she didn't technically see the letter. The guilt will follow me to my grave. The mansion looms as we approach. Whispers welcome me back, shadows calling. I hope this is the last time. He is such a happy-looking priest. With his little stash. They are engaged in a quiet conversation when I find them in the mansion's front gardens. My only question is, are you going to get in trouble? I would not put it past Hannah Wright to call you guys trespassers. There is relief in familiar company, and knowing I won't be alone going back inside for my silly idea. But it's impossible to feel at ease here. Even with the delicately pruned gardens awaiting spring's arrival, or the beautiful winding pathways. Like the very place itself is aware of its trespassers. Zach, on the other hand, doesn't seem to notice. Or he simply doesn't care. Or he's already used to it. I can never tell with him. With all his gentle smiles and amiable air. He's almost as hard to read as Ash. Almost. At least Zach doesn't ask for as much patience as dealing with Ash does, and that says plenty about him. Wonder of wonders how the two ended up best friends. He waves at me as I approach. True to his promise, Zach has also brought his friend with him.
Father Norman. Somehow I expected him to look older.
Oh, don't be surprised. They say people who have found their calling are getting younger these days.
Well, the world is depressing.
Sorry, Father. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
No offense taken. Though I admit I'm a bit surprised. I didn't think someone would ask this house to be blessed after all these years.
You've heard of it, Father?
In passing, the occasional rumors and talk by the locals, nothing new, but still interesting to the curious. You don't spend years serving the church here without hearing a random hearsay here and there.
You never mentioned what you thought of those, Father.
Ah, but he who goes down to the grave does not come up. He shall never return to his house, nor shall his place know him any more.
You do realize that you're contradicting Jesus.
But what I saw...
May not be what you think it is. It depends entirely on what you mean by it. If you're talking about spirit beings, angels, demons, then yes.
Okay, so zombies, like Jesus, aren't possible, but angels and demons, totally okay, right?
Are we talking about the spirits of people who have departed? The word makes it clear that once the deceased has left us, they are gone.
Once again, you are contradicting your religion.
But of course, I didn't come here to bore you with a lecture.
No, it was enlightening, Father, to say the least. Thank you.
Just remember that a God who loves his children would never let them linger once the time comes.
That's what my papa often tells me.
You've never seen hospice either, have you?
Your father must be a good man. He raised you well, no doubt. Well then, shall we? Regardless of what it is, I'm sure the mansion's new owners would appreciate such sincere intentions. From a stranger, no less.
I'm not so sure about that. He lets Zach and I walk ahead. A relief. This way, he won't see how tightly I'm clutching the straps of my bag. Father Norman's probably trying to put me at ease. But the worry, the cold, restless, foreboding feeling, has firmly lodged itself in my stomach, making its presence known with every step towards the house.
Hey, you okay?
Hell no. Zach lightly nudges my side, careful, mindful of his motions. No doubt to avoid startling me. Dude, we're gonna go with this place gives me the creeps. It's hard not to lie to Zach when he gives me that look. It's just there. The kind that implores, silent appeal. I'm not sure if he's even doing it consciously. Another breeze blows, and I try not to shiver, try not to listen to the voices that may or may not be there.
Ugh, this place really gives me the creeps.
It doesn't seem more than an ordinary house to me, though. Damn, I should have brought my camera with me. I saw a few areas that'd be good for a shoot.
It's true, old buildings are very cool to take pictures of.
You think the new owners will allow it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Shh! Shh! What if you catch something? Or someone in one of the pictures?
That would be awesome.
It just means they want to be seen, doesn't it?
Don't ask for it.
It's not like we can stop them if they do.
I agree with him.
You're really not helping, Zach.
All right, sorry. Don't worry. I don't think whatever's inside this house will do anything.
No, from what I can tell, they just want help.
I'm here, yeah? I'll take care of them. Or I think I can.
Get some rock salt.
You're not that scary, but thanks. I'll be sure to run behind you if I see one.
Ridiculous talk. Though the temporary reprieve, it lends more welcome. He offers me a smile in return, the least he can do. With a slight motion of his head, he gestures for us to move ahead, while my own fears are left forgotten for the time being. The things inside my bag clatter softly against each other while I wrestle for the keys to the mansion. I should have heard the telltale jingle by now, but didn't I put it in my bag last night? Seconds later, I'm sitting on my heels, and one after another, I'm taking everything out from every pocket, every slip. It'd be a pain to put everything back later, but I'm sure it's underneath these. Nothing. Oh man, of all the times to forget.
Is something the matter?
No, I'm sorry, Father. I think I left the key.
No use coming up with excuses, right after they've both taken the time to go this far away from the city. With a heavy sigh, I grab the door handle to pull myself up, a string of apologies ready at the tip of my tongue.
Careful, Bella!
We've spoken with the current owners. Well, technically, you're not yet the owners, but...
I was right, the rights are here. I hope they don't think you're trespassing. There's a brief moment of confusion and then I'm falling. The momentum of the door swinging open pulls me back, first into the mansion's foyer, before I can make sense of what's happening.
Ow, 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 my back.
She falls a lot.
What the... Isabella?
I think we need to get Isabella a helmet. No time to nurse my bruised back or make up excuses, because the next thing I know, Zach's gently pulling me upright by my arm. Rose looks down at me with a mixture of relief and apprehension. Ah, sheesh. Good going, Isabella. Right after you volunteered to work on the papers. And standing behind her...
Ma'am Hannah! Mr. Wright!
Oh, Isabel. We always meet in the most interesting circumstances.
really don't think she likes us.
A complete understatement, darling. What are they doing in my house?
Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. He waves his hand towards Zach and Father Norman, like their presence is a blasphemy against his own.
I thought you said you wanted to do paperwork duty. What are you doing here?
Hunting for ghosts? Like a deer caught in the headlights. Unfair, Rose. That's putting me on the spot. Seeing their expectant looks leave me no other choice but to answer.
The reason why I'm here?
Well, spit it out, Lily. We don't have all day.
Quit calling her Lily. Your wife almost got it correct.
I'm just here to make sure everything is fine before you move in.
I am so sorry, ma'am. Oh, Mama. I keep getting those two backwards. It's all the punctuation I'm not paying attention. You said I'll go to hell if I lie. I likely will after this, but there's no other way. Well, it isn't entirely a lie. I am here to make sure no one disturbs them after they move in. It just so happens that what I'm checking for and trying to drive away is of the paranormal variety.
Oh? The house appears impeccably fine to me.
To you. Whoa. Okay, I was like a little confused there. The grin on his face, though, when he returns his attention back to me, is similar to what my Kuya Jordan... I know that's Filipino, I don't know what Kuya is. Jordan had often given me when he's up to something. Usually a scare prank that inevitably ends in me crying. I never did forget the way my brother sneers at me. part of me thinks that perhaps if I hadn't have been the object of his mischief in childhood, I would have grown up a little braver.
Come on, little Lily. Lying doesn't do that cute little face any justice.
Quit calling her Lily.
I'm a very patient man. Now, why are you really here?
I think we should just leave him with the ghosts. Right now, in the face of an almost identical expression, perhaps even crueler than what I'm used to, the lie I told falls apart.
The truth is, I was just thinking we could have the house blessed before move-in day.
And why would we ever need to have this house blessed?
For luck and protection?
I wouldn't have done the protection part. I would have done luck. I would have come up with a bunch of other stuff. I shrink under his scrutinizing gaze. For a second, I think that he'll start shouting at me. Instead, he laughs. Not the mocking, jeering kind, but the one wondering if he's hearing things right. I'll say he's amused, but I honestly can't understand what's so funny with what I've just said. Is it really that weird? Isn't it a custom here? I wish Becca were here to explain stuff like this.
That's rich coming from you. When we saw Devlin Court, you didn't.
It's a small custom back home. I thought it would be nice to do something that would bring positive energy to the mansion since this place has been empty for years.
And the papers, Isabella? I hope you did those first before this.
Of course I did. It's almost done, in fact. But there are some items I still have to double check before finalizing everything. You know I don't sign without a thorough inspection. And well, this is what this is for too. I just thought it would be more efficient to do both at the same time.
Here I thought you didn't want to go back.
A job is a job, Rose. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then go ahead.
Ooh, nice cover.
No need to be so hard on her, Rosie.
You can't get anyone's names right, can you?
I personally think it's a nice touch. I was actually thinking of the same thing, but you beat me to it.
Okay.
Darling, Buttercup, please. You know these things don't work.
What is with this man's obsession with flowers? I get why he might call Isabella Lily because she's working with a coworker named Rose, but you call your wife Buttercup. You kind of scream asshole to me.
No offense meant to the holy man, of course. That does not explain the nigger, though.
Oh my god, you motherfucking cunt. Oh, it's on, bitch. It's on. All of a sudden, there's an awkward silence that even Rose, of all people, seems reluctant to break. The hell would he do if Ash was with us? Not well versed on most insults, unless talking like a sailor counts, but I imagine he would be derogatory to everyone except for Becca. Although a desire to do so is evident in the way her eyes nervously shift from Mr. Right to Zach. Oh, I would just pop him one. Not that I won't. I know he's a client, but no, fuck him. You can't just say that in front of other people. In front of Zach, no less. If Ashton were here, I know he wouldn't stand for it. And neither do I. There's a reason why bullies back home never touched my younger brother again after I gave them a taste of their own medicine. He might be inches taller than me, but I'm pretty sure I can still hit it too. No. I use words. I verbally destroy people. Made a girl cry in high school. Don't insult my family, man. Maybe. If only I'm not going to get in trouble with BRC for it. But before any punch could be thrown, Ma'am Hannah cuts in.
Lucille Mitchell Wright.
Dude, your first name is Lucille? Oh my god, that's hilarious. Just call him Lucille. That is a very good way of being passive-aggressive in this situation. In a voice too firm, demanding his complete silence.
What?
What country are we in? Seriously. Instead of answering, she merely crosses her arms and shoots her husband a sharp, disapproving glare. That seems to have done the trick. He immediately shuts his mouth, but not before muttering a few inaudible words under his breath. At this, Ma'am Hannah could only sigh and shake her head.
Oh, give it a rest, love. Do you have a better idea?
You know, we could always sacrifice him. You know, that seems like a very good idea. I don't like his hair anyway.
Who knows? Positive energy might even give us what we've been waiting for. Or some peace. Let them do their job.
What have we been waiting for? I don't think I was ever informed of.
Nothing you should worry about right now. Anyway, we've still got a few things we need to discuss with Rosie here. Over lunch?
Quit calling her Rosie.
I hope you don't mind, Isabel. We'd love to take you with us, but...
Oh, no. Go ahead, ma'am. This'll take time. That's why there's 2 of us working on this.
Rose looks like she's about to murder someone. Probably me. At least she won't be left to deal with the haunted house. Oh, At least she won't be left to deal with a haunted property. She got the better end, if anyone's going to ask me.
Oh, wonderful. I hope the next time the 3 of us meet, it'll be over a closed deal, hmm?
Can we just never see you again?
Of course, ma'am. Please look forward to it.
Rose hurriedly hands me the keys to the house before leaving, mouthing reminders to secure the place and harmless threats for throwing her under the bus. I return it with a reassuring smile of my own, even if she's the one who often forgets. Sheesh. And like that, gone. Just as quick as they appeared, leaving me wondering if this is simply what's typical for the rich and famous, fleeting from one scene to the next without a care. If so, I'd rather stay with my run-down apartment, or little shack back home. I can't seem to talk anymore. There is still joy in not missing the smallest things, after all. Can we make this house more haunted for them? But just, like, fix everybody else so that they don't get haunted, but we want the rights to get haunted? With a house this big, it's not surprising when the ceremony takes few hours to finish. The sun's already high in the sky by the time we've gone through the last room. I can never say I'm a devout follower of my own faith, even with Mama and Papa's teachings. But hearing every passage, every word Father Norman uttered as we went around the house had set a lull in me. Soothing, comforting. All of a sudden, the mansion doesn't seem so scary anymore. Maybe there is an end to this. Or perhaps this is the end. Father Norman bids us goodbye upon exiting the mansion grounds. He has business in the village nearby, he says, a minute gesture to reach out to the members of their parish every once in a while. I bet that's pronounced minute. It's minute. Minute and minute are spelled the same. I never realized that. It reminds me of a distant memory, of helping hands and a few kind smiles, what pulled my family through when times are tough. But before he leaves...
Isabella, a word before I go? Zachary hasn't been really forthcoming with your situation, and it is something I understand it wasn't his to share. But whatever burdens you, know that it's not a permanent fixture in your life from which you'll come out stronger. Besides, you have people to bear it with.
I bite back the harsh retorts before they come out, masking with a smile as we wave the good priest off. His words, though, meant to comfort, has only left something hollow in me and a bitter taste in my mouth. And if they don't believe you, what am I to do? A tentative hand lands briefly on my shoulders, taking me out of my thoughts before they take a sullen turn. But my smile doesn't quite reach my ears when I turn to him.
Say, do you want to go somewhere?
Right now? Where to?
Anywhere in the city. I'll leave it up to you.
Dude, go to an arcade. Should I take his offer? I like Zach. Let's go to an arcade.
It wouldn't hurt. I've got some stuff I need to buy. Groceries. And there's a shop I want to check.
And you need to not buy cup of noodle?
Is it real food this time?
See, he's with me on this one.
Let me guess. Rebecca?
Yeah, she's like, oh, if you're gonna hang out with Isabella, watch your diet.
She's just worried about you. Even I can't eat that much instant noodles.
Think of it as a talent.
I agree. I used to do that in college.
Let's just go, Zach.
I smile. Real one this time, devoid of any unpleasant thoughts. Regardless of what happened, I don't want to think of them that way. I will. Zach has me wait on a nearby bench upon arriving, prior to going off somewhere. He hasn't returned since it's been a good 20 minutes of being left alone entirely to my thoughts. In this weather, the city park gives off a lazier, more languid vibe than usual. Where children are usually seen running around and playing, there are now people lying, leaning back on their picnic blankets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. The smell of food drifts from nearby food carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one will catch the whiff of freshly trimmed grass. I'll gladly sleep on this bench if I'm not waiting for anyone. Soon enough, I see his hulking figure running towards me, carrying a medium-sized box on one hand and casually waving the other at me. He's panting when he reaches my bench, sweat dripping profusely from his forehead, but there's a grin on his face.
Sorry, the line was really long. Really long.
You didn't have to run. Sit down first.
Nah, I'm good. Didn't want to make you wait for these.
Please be cinnamon rolls. I already know what's in the blue box before he opens it. Yay! Cinnamon rolls, all 6 of them topped with white cream cheese glaze. You know, I'm weird. I don't like anything on top of my cinnamon rolls. I like them naked. The very same one I bought after I sold my first property. It's not a blue box. After I met Zach, Ash, and Becca. Funny how such a small thing can trigger a distant memory, no matter how mundane it is. I don't say no to free food, but why is he getting me these now? Because you were depressed and scared.
What for?
He leans on the empty space behind me, wiping the sweat from his forehead before answering.
An apology. And as thanks for yesterday and the other day.
You don't have to buy me anything, Zach.
You were upset. You haven't been yourself recently, and people kind of miss that, you know?
Are you just saying that, or...
No, really. Rebecca told me. You know how she is. Ashton, too.
Ashton was an ass. He should have been named Ashhole instead.
I agree.
He went a little overboard, yeah. I can talk to him if you want.
He'll still tease me about it, even if it's Rebecca telling him to stop. Besides, I can handle him.
You always do. And yesterday, when you talked me through my little slump, I thought, hey, I want our old Isabella back. Are you still upset?
There are times when I wish Zach had been my big brother, Rebecca my older sister. Maybe life would have been a little easier then. Maybe Papa wouldn't be as sick as he is. Maybe I wouldn't be alone here. But then again, if they are what I wish them to be, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have met Ash, too. Life back home is tough, but for all that, I won't change it for one selfish wish. In this city of 68,000 people, I have people I can depend on. 3 of them, in fact. When you think about it, when you compare the numbers to the odds of finding someone like them amidst the sea of nameless people, I'm lucky.
Thanks a lot for today, Zach. You didn't have to, but you did. I can always count on you.
Just me? No Ashton or Rebecca? Oh boy, they won't be happy to hear that. I don't mind being the favorite, though.
Nope, no favorites. But you cook better than both of them, so that's a plus.
It's always been food with you, ain't it?
Well, poor people usually appreciate food more than most.
Don't put it like that! You're making me sound like a glutton.
I'm not saying you are, but it does feel good to know there's someone I could invite for food to be able to eat all of it.
Only that? I thought we were also art buddies.
Oh, that too. But the food thing really stands out when you think about it. You do eat a lot for someone your, size.
Low blow. I take pride in my height.
So, is it okay now? Do you feel better? Does it still scare you?
A little. I'll be okay. I'll figure it out, somehow. It's not as bad as the other day, and Father Norman helped too. I should have brought something to thank him.
Oh, we could visit him anytime. He loves hearing from the young ones.
He isn't that old, is he?
Don't know. He doesn't tell. I think I might have seen his face somewhere before. I just couldn't recall when or where. Ash says he looks like his boss, or the bartender at the local pub if he squints.
Maybe he's everywhere.
Don't take his word for it, of course. He might have accidentally inhaled something from the forensic lab again when he said that.
This time, the laughter that comes from both of us is genuine. Back to the usual. Things may have not been the easiest lately, but it certainly isn't the worst that has happened. We do end up sharing the cinnamon buns between us, despite Zach's insistence that it's only for me. But more than the food, there is response and contentment.
If you need anything, just ring, okay? Like when Ash annoys you too much. I'll help you with him, best friend or not.
No way. I can take him on.
Still an extra muscle wouldn't hurt, yeah? Just let me know, and I'll back you up. My sister knows this one thing to shut him up when he's being his usual self. Ask me what it is whenever you want, and I'll spill it.
Oh my god, blackmail.
I don't think that's necessary, but thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
Dude, I want to know what it is. He leaves me with a smile and a wave. Off to some new gig again. As for me, we still need to talk, Becca, Ash, and I. Put petty arguments aside like the adults we all are. This, however, is a start, no matter how small it may be. I just hope I can keep them safe. The light wind blows again, sending dried leaves swirling and the distinct smell of earth into the air. For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good. I need to stock up my pantry too. Come to think of it, isn't there an art store that has opened recently near the park? Dude, I love art stores. Well, with this black screen, I guess that's where we're gonna end it for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And I guess I will see you next time. Goodbye.